Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Today it's gonna be a little bit different format than I usually do. We're still gonna see what the energies are like for DM and DF, but in a little bit different manner. And we're gonna be looking at what is currently happening in the connection itself, but from each of the sides. What is should be recognized as a win, as an achievement, what is going great, and what is a challenge for each of the twins, or maybe some lesson that is being missed, or what's the struggle. Like, I know that that's what I'm supposed to do, but I'm still struggling with that. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna start with an oracle card, and today I decided to take the Keepers of the Light. So we're gonna pull a card for each of the twins to see some guidance from the Ascended Masters. And at the end, I'll do my usual Hermit Tarot with messages between the twins. Just gonna be very fitting considering that today it's gonna be more like a conversation between the twins. Like when, almost like a couple therapy, but without a therapist, right? When a couple decides to sit down and talk about where they are in a relationship and what's going well, what they appreciate about each other, and what is not so great. Only, of course, this is from the perspective, from the above. What is the truth? Not like what do I think about you, but actually the perception from the guides, from the energetic perspective. Let me fix this a little bit. Apologies that camera is a little off. There we go. All right, so let's get started. I think that's all the background that we need to this reading. Hopefully it's gonna make sense and I haven't missed anything. If you like that format, please let me know in the comments so that I know and I can do this more often. I felt guided to it after doing something like that in a private reading, and so I decided why not do it for the collective. It's an interesting take on things, and it presented very interesting output. Of course, remember, this is a general reading, so take only what resonates for you and leave what doesn't. If you're interested in a personal reading or a coaching session, do not hesitate to reach out via an email address. Okay, let's see what we have for the feminines first of all. What's the advice, what's the guidance from the Keepers of the Light today? Too many cards. Let me shuffle again. And yeah, by the way, I hope you have an incredible start of your week. For those who are watching this as freshly after it's been published, remember that all the readings are timeless readings. So whenever you are guided to check out a video from my channel, it means that that message was meant for you at that specific moment in time. Okay, we have the Holy Spirit. Expect miracles. I love this. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. Yeah, so this is especially strong for those feminines who have, we all do that, at least from time to time, right? But especially if you're in the time of doubt or distress, or you feel tired and it's hard to keep going, because you get discouraged from about something with your DM. This is that nudge to you, that pat on the back that you're doing a great job. The Spirit has got you back, and miracles are going to happen in your life. Expect miracles. And remember that only love is real. Everything else is ego and it's an illusion. All right, but you need to be open to those miracles, open to receive. Your heart should be open. So it's very important to stay in that faith energy, in the high vibe energy for that. For the masculines, wow, the same color, turquoise color, I love this. We have Lady Nada, Heart Awakening. Wow, I love this. Awaken to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive in balance. You see, it's a mirror in energy because it's also about acceptance of love. And a lot of people think, like on the surface of you just start the conversation, a lot of people would say that receiving or accepting It's so much easier, right? You don't really need to do anything. But because of all our wounds, our traumas, our fears, our experiences in this life, it's a lot harder than it sounds. And I'm talking from my personal experience. It also takes training after your inner child and your your conscious self have lost trust in unconditional love, in being deserving of love from others, all of those things. And I mean, this is just, this is like an umbrella term, I would say, and has a lot of different aspects to it. It can manifest itself in a very different way in your story. But I'm so happy to see that for both of the twins, because it means that, both of them to me are connected with heart awakening, because they both talk about love being the most important energy. And, to me, both of them are about accepting love and being open to receive. And it's such a beautiful and intricate skill to have, but is absolutely mandatory for the true love, for the pure, healthy relationship. Not even if we not even necessarily talking, step away from twin flames for a moment. I'm not even necessarily talking about romantic relationship. Any healthy relationship is supposed to have both people be able to accept love, to receive. Okay, so now we'll switch to the tarot, and for Divine Feminines I picked my pink deck. This is gonna be Souls on Fire deck, and we're gonna ask 2 questions as a reminder. First is, what is the Divine Feminine Collective winning at? What's the achievement? It should be recognized and praised as an achievement of what's going great, like you just knocked it out of the park. And the second question is going to be, what is currently a challenge? What is still work in progress? Or what should be happening, but it's not happening as expected. So let's see for Divine Feminine side. What do we have? Okay, we have the Devil with the Moon. And I'm gonna do an explanation after I get all of the cards. And for the good part, we have the Sun and the Empress. Love it. Oh, sorry, the good part. That's actually the that's the challenge. That's the challenge. That's what is not necessarily coming in easily. What do you have for the masculines? What should be praised and recognized? What is the achievement for DM Collective in this connection at this time? Wow, oh my god, the Lovers. And what else? The Hierophant. Love it. What is the challenge? What is not happening? What are the DMs dragging their heels about? King of Swords. And 7 of Pentacles. Okay. Oh, yeah, I was gonna use a different deck, but we'll see. I have one more deck. Maybe I needed it for something else. We'll see how it goes. Bottom of the deck, by the way, 10 of Pentacles. Just saying. Okay, so for the feminines, we have for what is going good or what the DF Collective have mastered. We have the Devil and the Moon. So this is the shadow work. This is the this is recognizing the unhealthy behavior, the obsession, the addiction, the manipulation, and that could be in self and in others. It's obviously the stepping stone to actually working through those. It's this knowledge. I'm getting with the combination of the 2 cards. It's the recognition. It's this, it was the full moon here when, the hidden becomes known, it comes to the surface. So it's recognizing these hidden patterns, where the manipulation, for example, is coming from. If we're talking about narcissistic patterns, where do they come from? Understanding the nature of those patterns. Not just the behavior, but actually what lies behind it. And you're seeing that for yourself and for your DM as well, for their unhealthy behaviors. So that's definitely, it takes strength and it takes skill. It takes practice as well. For what is not necessarily, this is an interesting vibe for the DFs in this case, because this is supposed to be all great, all hunky-dory, right, with the Sun and the Empress. But we're seeing it, and this is maybe not so good, at least not the devil, right? But this is actually what the feminists have mastered, which is telling me, which actually brings me back of why recognizing love and accepting love is important. Because when we get too much focus into the shadow, the unhealthy stuff, the manipulation, the fear, we sometimes lose that innocence and trust in the good of people, in the love that takes over anything and everything else, right? It kind of can get you into deep, kind of can you suck you into that area. So this is a reminder for divine feminines that you are the empresses. So this is more of the recognition of the beautiful in you and in your life around you. Beautiful and joyful. It's about having, like, seeing different reasons to celebrate, to be happy about, to find your place even, right? Because Empress to me is directly connected to mission, right? Is seeing how powerful you are, is recognizing that, and seeing what has been healed already, right? The current version compared to maybe like what was happening, I don't know, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago. And again, this is relevant for you and for DM, because it's always going as a mirror. You cannot be completely healthy in a relationship with yourself and, you know, have a disbalanced connection with your DM, right? It's because we're so connected, we have the same higher power. It's always that we are kind of like connected vessels. And, you know, the energy is kind of, it cannot be too much of a different vibe at the same, like, it can be for a little while, but it cannot do that long term. So otherwise, if that is the case, the twins just, they kind of push each other away. It's that effect with magnets, right? Like if everything is okay, the magnets, parts of the magnets, they're been magnetized to each other because they touch with like the opposite poles. If you turn one of them and you try to do the same with the same poles, they will just snap away. And that's what happens with the twins. If the energy is too much of a different vibe, too much of a contrast to one another. But usually it integrates and it still becomes kind of the common denominator. So yeah, this is the recognition of the goodness. For the masculines, we have, with the good part, we have the Lovers and the Hierophant. So masculines are seeing the love from and to their divine feminine. They understand that this connection is very, very special. Even if they haven't gotten their heads around the, you know, that this is my life partner, or, you know, this is my best friend, or kind of those big words, because to a lot of people those are very big words, especially if they've already assigned those roles to someone else, right? Just wake up one day, figuratively or literally, and realize that it's somebody very, very different who is taking up all of those main roles. It's not easy, right? But it's still a recognition that it's very special, that this connection is like, and you see with this card, the Lover's card, they're also like, they're symbolizing the differences in race, but of course it could be cultural differences. So this is important in this specific deck, in this card, that the DMs recognize that you're very different from their usual type of what would be recognized by their family, by their friends, like what would that match be, under normal circumstances. But you are not normal in the best possible way. You are from a completely different galaxy. Sometimes it feels very, very different from them. They realize that you're not the usual type, but it's part of that magnetism that they feel, because it's pleasantly different. It's like a breath of fresh air I'm hearing. And they recognize that, like, they can see how that's a perfect match. Even if they don't say the words, like, they can feel that, how much it complements them and why they feel so good around you, if you're both in the grounded, balanced selves. They also see that there's a lot more for themselves in this life, right? And again, this could be an energetic vibe, especially if they don't know about twin flames. Or they're in the earlier parts of the journey, right, where they are not fully awake. But this is being extra inspired and seeing extra potential in themselves to be the leader in their community, to do something extraordinary, to leave legacy. Beautiful. I can go on and go on, but we need to move forward. And what is lacking or what is not happening as expected? What is the weakest link on DM side? We have King of Swords and Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, so immediately I'm seeing here that they are still plucking up the courage to be in that King of Swords energy, to be to be acceptive of everything that is going on, both the true and untrue things, like seeing the difference and being able to plan their life with accordance to the truth, because they're seeing the truth, but they are still in denial with a lot of it, like your parts of your consciousness are already speaking to you that way, but other parts are completely denying it. So the knowledge is there is still a denial of it. Or, okay, I'm gonna think about it tomorrow or next year. Like, now is not the time, putting it off, right? Seven of Pentacles in a more negative way means that you're not actually planning your next steps, right? You're not taking it seriously. You're just putting it off as like, yeah, I don't need to worry about it for now. And as much as we say that we don't really need plans, especially on this journey, it doesn't make sense. It's still important to be thinking about your life with this recognition, right? And if DMs are in denial, they keep making the same decisions or staying in the same jobs with the same people, right? That's the difference of when you have that acceptance, when you're fully aware of what's going on, then you are becoming that King of Swords, where that's how you're making decisions, that's what you're communicating out, because you're not comfortable, may not be the right word, but you have accepted the truth, that's the path. That's the best path, even if it's gonna hurt someone's feelings or you're gonna lose someone from your life. Okay, messages between the twins. Let's get a message from Divine Masculine to Divine Feminine right now. What would they like to tell us? If you like what I'm doing, don't forget to like the video, to subscribe to my channel, to leave a comment, to share the video with others. Be more selfish, and I think we should see other people. Yeah, so DM is reminding DF that being in waiting energy is the worst that could be. Also, that acceptance of love, if there is a disappointment right now because DMs are not giving love, it's because they can't at this moment. They are either guided not to express it openly, or they're just not able to because there's still healing to do for themselves. But that doesn't mean that DF is supposed to become a martyr, or hide themselves from the world. It means you still need to love yourself first of all. That's how I see the Be More Selfish card. And also look out for people who can give you the love that you deserve, the recognition, the kindness, the attention, the time that you deserve. And you deserve all of it, the best of it. Whether it's friends or family, or it's a different life partner that you choose, like a soulmate that you meet. It's all worth it, especially if those people come onto your way or they extend that love or that hand to you. Be accepting of that, be open to that. It's the blessing from the angels, from the guides, from the divine. It's as a recognition for everything that all the work that you've done, everything you've been through. So be open to that. What's the message from divine feminine to divine masculine? Okay, we have, I don't want to lose you, and do you even care? So there is some disconnect right now, clearly, and we saw that at a certain point in the cards as well, where divine feminine is basically like not feeling too much of divine masculine participation, and it's almost like a question like, are you even there? Am I talking to an empty space or something, right? Like, I'm not getting your attention, or I'm not seeing your participation, I'm not getting a response if I'm reaching out, right? It's like this lack of connectivity. So what the feminines want to say to masculines is that this is a little concerning, but as much as DMs would like to be, upset or angry with DMs, they understand they don't want to lose them from their life. And they're also working through any patterns that might come up, and we saw that they are doing it quite, at least they're recognizing them, where that's codependent, wanting to have an immediate response, or wanting to have a specific response to what they're asking for, or what they're talking about, right? And they also understand that at the end of the day, even with all of the unhealthy patterns or mistakes that DMs have made or are making right now, or giving them silent treatment, or whatever else is happening that could be, disconcerting, or it's just painful. Divine feminines is saying that they still have a lot of love for divine masculines. They care about them a lot, and they don't want to lose them from their life. But this is not the codependent energy. This is the healthy energy of like, I know how much you mean to me. I know how much you keep changing my life and inspire me to be a better version of myself. So I hope you're gonna stay in my life. I'm wishing for that. I'm sending that intention out into the universe. Okay, which of course they will. Don't you worry about that, divine feminines. If any of you are in the energy where you are like hoping that they aren't gonna disappear, but you're not quite sure, you still have some fear, don't fear. Once you've met your DM, if they are your DM, they're not going anywhere. They're gonna be in your life. You're not gonna be able to get rid of them, even if you really, really want to. The separation might take a while, but trust that that person is not leaving your life forever, right? They're coming back, and there's only, it's hard to say to someone who would be missing another person or heartbroken for some reason, but it's only something, I'm again speaking from my own experience, and I've been in all of those places. It's only, how would I put it? I've managed to kind of quickly change it around into something that I'm looking for, with regards to the next time I meet the DM, right? With what it's gonna be like, because we're both changing, we're both gonna be new people the next time we meet. How exciting is that? And I know for sure, I trust the divine, I trust higher power that, some work is also being done with the divine intervention, so that for sure the time apart is spent on something valuable, something that will make us more wholesome, will make us happier, and ultimately that will bring us closer to union to each other with our DM. with other people on this path. Okay, I hope this has been good for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all. Bye.